شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy and blessings be upon you all. Allah tells us in the Quran, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ إِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاءِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. And when my servants ask you about me, O Muhammad, then surely I am close to every single one of them. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاءِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. And I will respond to the one that calls upon me as and when he calls upon me. And this verse, not only does it have great significance in the heart and the life of the believer, it also has a very special connection to the blessed month of Ramadan. Because you find this verse, Allah placed it meticulously in the passage dedicated to the month of Ramadan. Those 5 verses in Surah Baqarah, the 4th verse is this one that is dedicated to the noble act of worship, ad-du'a, supplicating, calling upon Allah. So this shows us the great connection it has to the blessed month of Ramadan. Allah tells us in the Quran about du'a, أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَى وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ. Who is the one that can respond to the one that is in desperate need when he calls upon Allah? It's Allah and Allah alone. Who is the one that can remove any dislike, any harm, any difficulty from your life? It's Allah and Allah alone. And about this concept of dua, Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, he tells us, لَيْسَ شَيْءٌ أَكْرَمُ عَلَى اللَّهِ مِنَ الدُّعَى. There is nothing more noble in the sight of Allah than the act of worship of dua, of calling upon Allah. And about ad-du'a, the Prophet ﷺ, he tells us, أَعْجَزُ النَّاسِ مَنْ عَجَزَ عَنِ الدُّعَى. The most incapable people are not the ones that do not attain wealth of this dunya and accumulate wealth of this dunya. The truly incapable people are those that are incapable of making dua to Allah. The Prophet ﷺ, he tells us, مَنْ فُتِحَ لَهُ مِنْكُمْ بَابُ الدُّعَى فُتِحَتْ لَهُ أَبْوَابُ الرَّحْمَةِ. Whosoever from amongst you is granted the blessing of making dua to Allah, then know for certain that Allah has opened for him a door from the many doors of His mercy, showing us the great significance of dua in our religion, in our hearts, in our lives, and the importance of constantly and frequently making dua to Allah. My brothers and sisters, we find that when we are in the state of dua, when our hearts are connected to Allah and we are in the state of calling upon Him, this is a sign of the strength of our iman. It's a sign that our hearts are alive and they have not given up hope and trust, and they have not given up in their connection to Allah. So if you find yourself in any situation making dua, then that is a sign of the strength of your iman. And it's a sign that Allah wants good for you. And the opposite holds true also. That when dua disappears, spiritual eroding and danger begins. Nothing remains except for the whisperings and the wiswas of the shaitan. And dua is that moment where us as human beings, we admit to the truth. That dua is that moment where the illusions of our arrogance and our pride and our self-sufficiency collapses and disappears. In dua, the human being, he is saying that I cannot do this alone. We admit our weakness to Allah and our need of Him. And even though we humble ourselves in front of Allah, that's not humiliation, but rather that there is the beginning of our iman. Dua changes the one who makes it even before the dua is answered. Just the fact that we humble our souls and our hearts and we engage in this conversation with Allah. Dua is not just about the end result alone. It's about humbling arrogance and pride and self-sufficiency. It's about softening the hardness of the heart. It helps us realign our priorities and shows us our reality of our internal need of Allah. It reminds the soul who it truly belongs to. Even before an answer comes, the state of the heart has already changed. Dua is that one door, my brothers and sisters, that is never truly closed. Every door in this life, every connection that we have has its conditions. It has its timing. It has its rejection. Except for the door of dua. There's no closing hours. There's no conditions. There's no particular state. You can knock at any time of day or night. You can speak to Allah from the bottom of your heart. In obedience, in regret, in hope, in fear. Allah is always there to listen to our du'as. There's a few lines of poetry from one of the scholars of the past which tell us about the state of dua that I'd like to share with you. And that is where he says, إِذَا عَرَدَتْ لِي فِي نَفْسِي حَاجَةٌ وَقَدْ أَشْكَلَتْ فِيهَا عَلَيَّ مَقَاصِدُ. When the needs arise for me in my lifetime, when I have difficulty, when I have hardship, and the path towards certainty and victory become unclear, confusion overtakes me. وَقَفْتُ بِبَابِ اللَّهِ وَقْفَةُ دَارِئٍ. I stand at the door of Allah, standing in a humble state. وَقُلْتُ إِلَهِ إِنَّنِي لَكَ قَاصِدُ. And I say, oh my Lord, oh my Creator, it is you alone that I seek. وَلَسْتَ تَرَانِي وَاقِفًا عِنْدَ بَابِ مَنْ يَقُولُ فَتَاهُ سَيِّدِي الْيَوْمِ رَاقِدُ. And oh Allah, you will never see me standing at the door of the one whose worker and his servant comes and says that my master today, he is tired, he is resting, he is asleep. Subhanallah, showing us that the doors of Allah are always open for us. And one of the great acts of worship that we need to perform in this blessed month of Ramadan and every day and every moment of our lives is connecting our hearts to Allah and constantly making dua to Him. May Allah make us from those people that have our hearts connected to Him and Him alone. And may Allah make us from those people that are frequently making dua to Him and not from those that have their du'as accepted in this blessed month and throughout our lives. And surely Allah knows best.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان